I want you to imagine your life without limits, your mind clear, your vision sharp, your energy aligned, your future pulling you forward instead of your past dragging you down. That's the doorway to understanding the law of attraction the way it was meant to be understood, not as some magical thinking, not as wishful fantasy, but as a direct, practical force that shapes your life through alignment, intention, and relentless action. Most people misunderstand it completely. They think it's about asking and then waiting, imagining and then hoping, wanting and then wishing. But hope without action is a trap. Visualization without movement is just escapism. The real law of attraction is not passive. It is the combination of what you focus on, what you believe you deserve, and what you're willing to act on with absolute consistency. Every day you attract not what you want, but who you are. You attract from your patterns, your self-talk, your emotional energy, your standards. And if your life isn't where you want it to be, it's not because the universe is against you. It's because you've been unconsciously attracting from a place of fear, doubt, hesitation, or survival. This section is your wake-up call. Your external world is a mirror. Your relationships, your finances, your opportunities, your progress, all of it reflects your inner world. Change the root and the fruits change automatically. But this takes courage. It takes discipline. It takes radical honesty. You have to be willing to look at the habits you've allowed, the beliefs you've accepted, the energy you've settled for. You must confront the procrastination, the excuses, the emotional patterns that keep lowering your frequency and shrinking your future. The law of attraction rewards clarity. It rewards conviction. It rewards aligned energy. It rewards decisive action. And it punishes confusion, hesitation, and inconsistency. Not because the universe is cruel, but because misalignment kills momentum. This journey begins with ownership, full, unapologetic ownership of your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, and the results you've created so far. Only then can you reshape your frequency and begin attracting a reality that matches your highest potential. The law of attraction begins with focus, not soft, vague, undisciplined focus, but intentional focus that commands your mind, shapes your energy, and directs your future. Your focus is the steering wheel of your life. Wherever it turns, everything else follows. Most people never master this. They wake up reacting. Their attention is hijacked by problems, notifications, emotions, and the needs of everyone around them. And then they wonder why their life feels scattered, heavy, or out of control. You cannot attract clarity with a chaotic mind. You cannot attract abundance with scattered attention. You cannot attract opportunity while focusing on fear. The truth is simple. Your mind moves in the direction of your dominant thoughts. Whatever you feed it becomes your filter. If you constantly focus on what's missing, you'll attract more lack. If you focus on what's possible, you'll attract opportunity. If you focus on the worst outcomes, your brain will seek evidence to confirm those expectations. A positive focus doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means refusing to surrender your mental bandwidth to anything that doesn't serve your future. It means training your mind to return again and again to the vision you're building, the standards you've set, and the outcomes you're committed to. This requires discipline. Every distraction steals momentum. Every negative thought lowers your frequency. Every moment of comparison drains your power. Focus must become a daily practice, not something you use occasionally, but something you train like a muscle. Morning rituals, visualization, journaling, meditation, movement. These are tools to reclaim control of your attention and anchor your mind on what matters. People with powerful focus attract success because they project clarity. They know what they want. They know why they want it. They know where they are going. And the universe, along with people, opportunities, and resources, aligns with that certainty. But focus alone is not enough. To attract your goals, you must elevate your internal standards, the expectations you set for yourself, your habits, your energy, and your life. If focus is the steering wheel of attraction, belief is the engine. Without belief, focus is powerless. Without belief, action is inconsistent. Without belief, desire becomes frustration. Your beliefs determine the internal architecture of your life. They set the limits. They define what's possible. They build the invisible ceiling. You either rise above or stay trapped under. Here's the truth. Most people refuse to confront. You are never attracting what you want, only what you believe you deserve. Your belief system is the silent force shaping every decision, every emotion, every habit, every risk you do or do not take. And most beliefs aren't consciously chosen. They're inherited. From your upbringing, your environment, your failures, your fears, you absorb them until they feel like truth. Beliefs are like software running in the background. If the coding is corrupted, the results will always glitch. You can visualize success every morning, but if your belief says, I'm not enough, you'll sabotage it by evening. You can affirm abundance, but if your belief says life is hard, you'll reject opportunities that don't match the story. You can crave love, but if your belief says I'm unworthy, you'll attract people who confirm it. You must upgrade the internal program, not with hype, not with empty positivity, but with truth, real, grounded, self-honest truth. Belief changes when you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than your past version. It changes when you keep a promise to yourself, when you push through the moment you wanted to quit, when you demand excellence instead of settling for comfort. Every time you raise your standards, your belief evolves. Every time you choose discipline over excuse, your identity shifts. A powerful belief system does not mean thinking magically. It means thinking responsibly. It means acknowledging that your mindset is not decoration, it's the foundation. It means holding yourself accountable for the energy you bring, the habits you keep, and the way you interpret your circumstances. Once belief is aligned with your focus, you become magnetic. You become consistent. You become someone the universe can trust with bigger opportunities, bigger responsibilities, and bigger results. But belief must be matched with something deeper. Emotion, the force that electrifies the law of attraction and fuels action. Emotion is the electricity of your life. It is the vibration behind every thought, every decision, every action you take or avoid. People misunderstand the law of attraction because they think it's just about thoughts. It's not. Thoughts are the blueprint. Emotion is the power source. If your thoughts say, I want success, but your emotions are filled with fear, doubt, resentment, or exhaustion, you are broadcasting mixed signals into the world. You're sending out a request and a rejection at the same time. That's why you feel stuck. That's why things don't move. That's why nothing clicks. Your emotional state determines the quality of your decisions. Your emotional state determines what you notice, what you ignore, what you chase, and what you run from. Your emotional state determines the opportunities you attract and the ones you push away without even realizing it. Most people let their emotions be controlled by circumstances. They wait for good days to feel good. They wait for validation to feel confident. They wait for progress to feel motivated. But waiting is the mindset of the powerless. Waiting is emotional slavery. Waiting disconnects you from your potential. You must reclaim authority over your emotional patterns, not by suppressing them, not by pretending everything is fine, but by learning to direct them. Emotion is generated by physiology, your breath, your posture, your movement. It's shaped by your focus, what you choose to magnify, what you choose to minimize, and it's reinforced by meaning, the story you attach to what's happening. Change any of these three forces and your emotional state shifts instantly. Shift your emotion and your attraction field expands. Expand your attraction field and your world begins to shift. A powerful emotional state doesn't mean you're always happy. It means you're always resourceful. It means you can adapt, you can respond, you can lead yourself even when the world feels heavy, because the universe does not respond to your complaints. It responds to your energy, your resilience, your internal certainty. Emotion is not the goal, it's the amplifier. And once your emotional signature aligns with your belief and your focus, you become unstoppable. But emotion alone isn't enough. You need something that grounds it, something that puts this energy into motion. That force is action. In the next section, we take the law of attraction out of the clouds and into the real world. Through relentless, consistent, decisive action, the law of attraction is misunderstood because people stop at the wish. They visualize, they journal, they dream. But dreams without action are hallucinations. Attraction without movement becomes stagnation. The universe doesn't reward desire, it rewards direction. It rewards evidence. It rewards the person who backs intention with behavior. Action is the great separator. It's where most people fall off because action requires discomfort. It requires uncertainty. It requires showing up on the days you don't feel like showing up. It requires breaking patterns that have kept you safe but small. You don't attract what you think about occasionally. You attract what you act on consistently. Repeated action becomes identity. Identity becomes destiny. When you take action, you're sending a signal that says, I am ready. When you take action, you prove to your nervous system that you're capable of more than the fear you've been feeding. When you take action, you teach your mind to trust you. And trust is the foundation of unstoppable confidence. Action doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be consistent. One message sent, one page written, one workout completed, 1 hour of mastery, one uncomfortable conversation initiated. Tiny increments compound into transformation. Even the smallest daily action carries more magnetic power than a year of passive wishing. This is where you take control of momentum. Momentum is not luck. It's not magic. It's mechanical. It's built from one action layered onto another until your life becomes impossible to ignore. When you act despite fear, you weaken the fear. When you act despite doubt, you weaken the doubt. When you act despite uncertainty, you create clarity. Action is the cure for overwhelm, confusion, procrastination. It cuts through emotional noise. It sharpens your direction. It forces your environment to respond. The law of attraction becomes real when your actions match your intentions, not before. It's not enough to think like the next level version of yourself. You must behave like them, walk like them, execute like them, decide like them. Every action becomes a vote for the future you're choosing. But to sustain action, you need something deeper, something that most people avoid confronting. Accountability. Without it, your actions fade, your commitments weaken, your momentum dies. Accountability is the invisible force that transforms hopes into outcomes. It's the difference between people who want success and people who live it. Because wanting is emotional, but becoming is structural. It's disciplined. It's consistent. It's built on standards, not moods. Most people treat their goals like suggestions. They break their own promises. They negotiate with their excuses. They let comfort win the negotiation every single time. And every broken promise weakens identity. Every skipped commitment lowers belief. Every avoidance becomes a message to yourself, I don't trust me. Accountability rewires that. Accountability restores internal trust. Accountability forces you to rise to the level of the life you're asking for. The law of attraction doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It responds to alignment. If your actions don't match your goals, your life won't match your vision. People forget this. They imagine success but live in contradiction. They speak abundance but repeat scarcity behaviors. They talk courage but choose safety. They desire growth but cling to the same habits that keep them stuck. Accountability closes the gap. It is not punishment. It is empowerment. It is not pressure. It is clarity. It is not restriction. It is liberation, freedom from the chaos of an undisciplined mind. A person with accountability becomes dangerous in the best way. They move differently. They follow through. They say, I will, and it means something. Their word becomes a contract. Their behavior becomes a signal to the universe that they're ready for more. Accountability begins with self-honesty, not beating yourself up, not shaming yourself, but looking directly at the habits that anchor you instead of elevate you. It's choosing mastery over mediocrity. It's saying, I am responsible for the energy I bring, the choices I make, and the outcomes I create. When you adopt this level of ownership, attraction becomes acceleration. Opportunities gravitate toward you. People trust you. Your environment shifts to match your commitment. But accountability also demands courage. The courage to let go of certain people, certain environments, and certain identities that no longer serve your next level. In the next section, we step into that courage. The force that allows you to break patterns, defy limitations, and choose the uncomfortable road that leads to breakthroughs. Courage isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. It isn't the absence of fear. Real courage is quiet, steady, and deeply personal. It's the internal decision to stop living by the patterns that have kept you trapped. It's the moment you refuse to be governed by fear, excuses, or the identities you inherited from your past. Every breakthrough in life requires courage because breakthroughs always demand a departure from who you've been, from the beliefs that shaped you, from the habits that numbed you, from the people who normalized your limitations. Growth is disruptive. Expansion is inconvenient. Transformation is uncomfortable. That's why courage is the gateway to every goal you want to attract. Most people wait for courage to appear before they take action. But courage doesn't appear first. Courage is triggered by action. You step. Then courage activates. You speak. Then confidence grows. You move. Then clarity reveals itself. Courage is choosing progress over protection. It's choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term comfort. It's choosing your future over your familiar past. The universe responds to courage because courage is a declaration. I am willing to evolve. When you act with courage, you release the energy of stagnation. You send out a frequency of readiness. You communicate through your behavior that you're not attached to the old version of yourself. And because the law of attraction responds to emotional and energetic alignment, courage becomes a magnet for opportunity, connections, and momentum. Courage also sharpens identity. It reinforces self-belief. It teaches you that you are capable of far more than the limits you placed on yourself. Each courageous act becomes a reference point, a reminder that you can handle uncertainty, discomfort, and adversity. And with each reference point, your threshold for fear shrinks. You don't need giant heroic courage. You need daily courage, micro courage. The courage to say no when comfort tempts you. The courage to say yes when opportunity scares you. The courage to take the first step before you see the whole staircase. Courage is the ignition. But once you ignite, you need consistent fuel, the relentless hope and perseverance that keeps you going when the path gets steep. Hope is not weakness. Hope is strategy. Hope is the emotional oxygen that keeps you moving when logic tells you to quit. Hope is the spark that reminds you there is more ahead than behind. But hope alone isn't enough. It must be paired with perseverance. Perseverance is the grit that refuses to collapse. It's the steady fire that keeps you climbing when the trail gets dark. Every goal worth achieving requires both, because the path to transformation is never straight. It twists, it tests, it exposes the parts of you that still need growth. The universe won't hand you what you're not prepared to sustain. It stretches you so you can hold the very thing you're asking for. People think the law of attraction means everything comes easily. No. It means everything comes aligned. And alignment is not passive, it's earned. You earn it through your patience, through your discipline, through your ability to stay committed even when progress slows, when plans break, when life throws friction in your path. Perseverance is emotional stamina. It's choosing to keep your energy elevated, your focus locked, your belief intact, even when the results haven't arrived yet. It's staying in the game long enough for your breakthrough to catch up with your effort. Most people quit 3 feet before gold, not because they're incapable, but because they haven't trained their emotional endurance. Hope gives you vision. Perseverance gives you longevity. Hope says it's possible. Perseverance says, I'm not stopping until it's mine. And when you carry that combination, you become a force. You attract solutions, not problems. You attract support, not sabotage. You attract opportunities, not obstacles. Because perseverance changes your energy. It signals commitment. It signals seriousness. It signals that you will not abandon your future the moment discomfort appears. Every difficult season you've survived has already trained you for this. Every setback built resilience. Every disappointment strengthened your emotional armor. You're not fragile, you're forged. When you embrace perseverance, you stop seeing delays as punishment and start seeing them as preparation. You stop seeing obstacles as detours and start seeing them as refinement. The universe isn't denying you, it's developing you. But perseverance becomes unstoppable when you tie it to something bigger. When you recognize how your mindset shapes not just your inner world, but your relationships, your finances, your opportunities, and your entire environment. The law of attraction isn't just metaphysical, it's practical. Your mindset, your energy, your attitude, they ripple into everything. The people you meet, the opportunities you recognize, the deals you make, the influence you hold. Success isn't separate from your daily habits. It is the cumulative effect of them. Every conversation you have, every relationship you nurture, every decision you make is filtered through your internal state. A positive, empowered mindset doesn't just attract abstract good things. It attracts collaborators, mentors, clients, partners, and supporters who resonate with your energy. It opens doors you didn't even know existed. It signals competence, reliability, and readiness. Your financial reality responds the same way. People don't invest in hesitation. They don't promote inconsistency. They don't trust energy that wavers between hope and doubt. When you maintain clarity, focus, courage, and perseverance, your economic and professional opportunities expand. The universe and the people within it are drawn to certainty, to energy that can carry success, to those who act with discipline and integrity. Relationships are amplified by your emotional state. When you approach interactions from a place of abundance, confidence, and positivity, you attract people who reflect it. You create trust, respect, and collaboration. Your network grows organically because your internal alignment communicates without words that you are a person of value and vision. The world responds to energy, not excuses. Opportunity is neutral. It doesn't chase the fearful. It doesn't wait for permission. It aligns with action, alignment, and intensity of purpose. You're either creating a field that attracts it or you're operating in a way that repels it. The difference is your mindset. And here's the most critical insight. Mindset is active, not passive. It is practiced. It is disciplined. It is nurtured through habits, daily reflection, emotional mastery, and courageous choices. You cannot think your way to success without living it. demonstrating it and sustaining it. When your mindset aligns with your vision, when your habits reinforce your intentions, and when your energy signals readiness, the law of attraction becomes tangible. It manifests in measurable results. It shows up in the opportunities, relationships, and resources that naturally gravitate to someone operating at your level. In the next section, we conclude this journey by integrating all 9 elements: focus, belief, emotion, action, accountability, courage, perseverance, curiosity, and real-world alignment into a daily practice that makes the law of attraction work in your life every single day. This is the moment where everything converges. You've learned about focus, belief, emotion, action, accountability, courage, perseverance, curiosity, and real-world alignment. Now it's time to integrate them, not as separate ideas, not as occasional practices, but as a daily way of being. The law of attraction is not a one-time event. It's not a visualization exercise you do for 10 minutes and hope the universe responds. It is a lifestyle, a deliberate orchestration of thought, feeling, and action that positions you to attract what you want with precision and certainty. Every morning, anchor yourself in clarity. Know exactly what you want. Focus on it relentlessly. Train your mind to reject distraction and doubt. Feed your belief system with proof of your capabilities. Feed your emotions with energy that matches the life you're designing. Every day, take action. Not sporadic bursts, not half-hearted attempts, but consistent, disciplined action that aligns with your intentions. Follow through on commitments. Hold yourself accountable. Stand in courage, especially when fear says stop. Persist when results lag. Use curiosity to expand your solutions. Use gratitude to elevate your emotional state. Integration is also about feedback loops. Reflect on your actions, your energy, and your mindset. Measure what aligns with your vision and what doesn't. Adjust with precision. Learn without judgment. Improve without hesitation. This is how alignment becomes mastery. Your environment must support this integration. Surround yourself with people who elevate your energy, who challenge you to grow, and who reflect the level of positivity and discipline you are cultivating. Your habits, your space, your network, they must reinforce the identity you are claiming. The most powerful step is internalization. Make these principles part of your identity. When focus, belief, emotion, action, courage, perseverance, and alignment are who you are, not just what you do, the law of attraction becomes unstoppable. Opportunities gravitate to you, people respond to you, momentum becomes inevitable. Remember, this is not magic. This is mechanics of energy, intention, and behavior. Your mind, body, and spirit, when aligned, create a field that attracts success. Measurable, sustainable, undeniable. Start today, not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect, today. Take full ownership of your thoughts, your energy, your actions, and your results. Step into alignment, embody your highest self, and watch the law of attraction deliver not what you wish for, but what you've deliberately, relentlessly, and courageously attracted. Your life is a reflection of your energy. Make it unstoppable, make it intentional, make it yours.